Hey everyone, and welcome back to Thinkiverse Podcast, where we unlock knowledge across the spectrum every day. I'm Ryan Lamas.
And I'm Rona Escluto.
Today we're diving into a fascinating health topic.
One that has implications for literally everyone listening.
Brain food.
But here's the twist. It's not just about what fuels your brain for energy.
Okay.
It's about the actual building blocks of those brain cells themselves.
Whoa, okay. Now that's got my attention. I'm already rethinking my snack choices as we speak.
Good. We're going to be exploring some cutting-edge research from neuroscientists
Okay.
who are uncovering these surprising connections between what we eat and how our brains function.
So you're saying we could be missing out on some serious brain power
Absolutely.
just because of what's on our plates?
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
And before we get too far, if you're enjoying these deep dives into fascinating topics like this one, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thinkiverse Podcast, unlocking knowledge across the spectrum every day.
Yes.
Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes.
All right. Back to our brains.
Yes.
We all know that overall health is important. But what does the research say about the specific connection between our physical well-being and brain function?
Well, the research really emphasizes the importance of cardiovascular health.
Okay.
It turns out that even small blockages in those tiny blood vessels can have a significant impact on memory and processing speed.
That makes sense. If our brain isn't getting the oxygen and nutrients it needs, it's not going to function at its best.
Right.
It's like trying to run a marathon with clogged arteries.
Exactly. Keeping those pathways clear is crucial. Now let's get to the really mind-blowing stuff, the direct impact of food on brain structure.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Lay it on us.
This research delves into the concept of structural fat. It's not about the fat we store for energy.
Right.
It's about the fat that actually makes up the cell membranes of our neurons.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that the food I eat is literally becoming part of my brain cells? Precisely. You are what you eat quite literally when it comes to your brain. It's like the difference between building a house and just storing boxes inside.
Okay.
Structural fat gives those brain cells their shape and functionality.
Okay. Mind officially blown. So what kind of fat are we talking about here? Give us the details.
The superstars in this story are the essential fatty acids, or EFAs, particularly omega-3s.
Omega-3s.
They're absolutely vital for the health and function of your neurons.
Omega-3s, I've heard of those. Aren't they found in fish oil and stuff?
You got it.
Uh-huh.
Think of them as the high-quality bricks that make your brain house strong and resilient. But here's the catch. Most people's diets are seriously lacking in these essential fats.
So you're saying that feeling of brain fog or struggling to remember things?
Yeah.
Could that be linked to not getting enough omega-3s? I've definitely been there.
It absolutely can. And there's one type of omega-3 called EPA, or eicosapentaenoic acid, that plays a huge role in mood regulation. Some studies even suggest it could be as effective as antidepressants in certain cases.
Wow, that's incredible. Food is medicine, right? So where do we find this wonder nutrient EPA? Spill the beans.
The best source is fatty fish. Think mackerel, salmon, herring, even caviar.
Okay, I have to admit, fish isn't exactly my favorite food group.
Ah,
I'm more of a pizza and pasta kind of guy.
I hear you. But don't worry, there are plant-based options too, like chia seeds, walnuts, and soybeans.
Okay,
You've got choices.
that's good to know. But is there a magic number? Like how much EPA should we be aiming for each day?
The research recommends at least 1.5 grams of EPA per day. You can get that through your diet supplements or a combination of both.
1.5 grams, got it. Maybe I should give those sardines another try. Or maybe just stick with the chia seeds for now.
And here's a bonus. Omega-3s not only benefit your brain, but also support cardiovascular health.
Double the benefits. I like the sound of that. But let's be honest, getting used to a new taste can be a challenge. I'm not going to suddenly love sardines overnight.
You and me both. But our taste buds can actually change over time. The more we expose ourselves to certain flavors, the more likely we are to start enjoying them.
So you're saying that if I keep trying those omega-3 rich foods, eventually I might actually find myself craving them. That's pretty encouraging.
Exactly. It just goes to show that we have more power over our preferences than we think. Speaking of which, have you guys checked out our YouTube channel lately?
Of course. We're on it every day, unlocking knowledge across the spectrum. But for those who haven't joined us yet, head over to Thinkiverse Podcast on YouTube. We'd love to have you join our community of curious minds.
We release new videos every week exploring all sorts of fascinating topics, from science and technology to history and culture. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the action.
All right, back to our brains. We've been talking about omega-3s and those amazing EPA benefits. But what about other brain-boosting foods? What else should we be adding to our plates?
There's a whole world of nutrients that play a crucial role in brain health, and we're going to dive into those right after this quick message.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in a flash with more fascinating insights from the deep dive.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Before we took that little detour to talk about our YouTube channel,
Right.
we were exploring the incredible world of brain-boosting foods.
Yeah, we've covered the amazing benefits of omega-3s, especially EPA.
Right.
But there's so much more to uncover.
That's right. We can't forget about other key players like B vitamins, antioxidants, and choline.
Okay, those names ring a bell. But remind me, why are those so important for our brains?
Think of B vitamins as the spark plugs that keep your brain firing on all cylinders. They're crucial for energy production, neurotransmitter synthesis, and overall brain cell function.
Got it. B vitamins for brain power. What about antioxidants?
Antioxidants act like a shield protecting your brain cells from damage caused by free radicals. They help keep those cells healthy and resilient.
So it's like having a tiny army of defenders fighting off those harmful invaders in our brains.
Exactly. And then there's choline, a vital nutrient that's involved in memory learning and even mood regulation. It's a precursor to acetylcholine, a key neurotransmitter.
So we need choline to make sure our brains can communicate effectively. Sounds like a pretty important job.
Absolutely. And the great news is that we can obtain all of these brain-boosting nutrients through a balanced and varied diet.
So where do we find these brain-boosting superstars? Give us the grocery list.
For B vitamins, load up on leafy green vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and eggs.
Okay, those are all pretty common foods, which is good news. What about antioxidants? Where can we find those?
Antioxidants are abundant in those vibrant, colorful fruits and vegetables. Think berries, citrus fruits, leafy greens. The more color, the better. Nuts and seeds are also great sources.
So eating the rainbow is not just a catchy phrase. It's a legitimate brain health strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And for choline, some of the best sources include eggs, liver fish, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower.
All right, we've got a pretty comprehensive list of brain-boosting foods now. But let's be real. How do we actually put all this information into practice? It can feel overwhelming to try to incorporate all these different foods into our already busy lives.
I hear you. And remember we talked about taste preferences.
Yeah.
It might take some time to adjust to new flavors. The key is to start small and build from there.
So instead of trying to overhaul our entire diets overnight, maybe just start by adding a handful of berries to our breakfast or swapping out our usual snack for some walnuts.
Exactly. Or try a new recipe that features those leafy greens or cruciferous veggies. Little changes can make a big difference over time.
And don't forget about those omega-3s. Even if you're not a fish enthusiast, there are plenty of other options like chia seeds and flax seeds. Sprinkle them on salads, yogurt or oatmeal, easy peasy.
You got it. And remember that tip about experimenting with different preparations?
Right?
Sometimes it just takes a little creativity to make those healthy foods more appealing. Roast those veggies with some spices, blend those greens into a smoothie. Get creative.
I love that. It's not about deprivation. It's about finding delicious ways to nourish our brains. Speaking of delicious, this conversation has definitely sparked my appetite for knowledge and maybe a brain-boosting snack break soon.
Me too. But before we go raiding the fridge, let's quickly recap those key takeaways. We've learned that our brains need more than just fuel. They need the right building blocks to function at their best.
And those building blocks come from the foods we eat, especially those rich in essential fatty acids like omega-3s, but also those B vitamins, antioxidants, and choline.
Absolutely. And remember, small dietary changes can have a significant impact over time. Start with what you enjoy and gradually incorporate those brain-boosting foods into your daily routine. It's all about progress, not perfection.
This whole idea of food as brain medicine is really making me rethink my grocery list. I challenge you to do the same. What one change can you make this week to give your brain cells the building blocks they need?
And before we move on to our final thoughts, a quick reminder for all our listeners out there. If you're enjoying this deep dive into brain food, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thinkiverse Podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
We unlock knowledge across the spectrum every day, bringing you fascinating insights from the worlds of science, history, technology, and more. We release new videos every week, so hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.
We also love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments what other health topics you'd like us to explore. We're always on the lookout for new deep dives.
All right, back to our brains. We covered a lot of ground today, but I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
What if changing your diet could be as impactful as changing your thoughts when it comes to brain health?
Whoa, that's a powerful idea. We often focus on mental exercises and mindfulness to improve our cognitive abilities.
But what if the foods we choose to nourish our bodies had an equally profound impact on our minds?
It's certainly something to chew on, both literally and figuratively.
Mhm.
So as you go about your day, be mindful of the choices you make, not just for your physical well-being, but for your mental sharpness and clarity as well.
You have more control over your brain health than you might realize. And that, my friends, is something worth celebrating.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into brain food. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the intricate connection between what we eat and how our brains function. We've learned so much about the building blocks of our brain cells, the power of essential fatty acids, and the importance of a balanced and varied diet for optimal brain health.
We've challenged ourselves to rethink our relationship with food, recognizing that it's not just about sustenance, but about nourishing our minds as well as our bodies.
If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thinkiverse Podcast.
Unlocking knowledge across the spectrum every day.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Let us know in the comments what resonated with you the most, or if you have any other brain-boosting tips to share.
And until next time, keep those brain cells happy and fueled up with nourishing foods.
We'll see you in our next deep dive.